Good morning. This is the week 9 focus video for MH510 in the spring of 2024. This week we're going to be dealing with postmodernist history and historians. Postmodernism confuses me, so the cover sheet of the slide packet kind of indicates that with pre-modern history, because God put it there and that's the way it's always been, modern, onward and upwards with inevitable progress, and postmodern history, gobbledygook. But there's more to postmodern history than just that, but that's kind of my quick summary. All right, so as typical, we have 2 questions. The first question on the School of History itself, and the second question on one of the principal people involved with the School of History, Michel Foucault. Let's read those 2 questions so you've got them clear in your head. The postmodernist School of History emerged from the literary criticism movement, Derrida and others in France, and migrated to the field of history in the 1970s and 80s through the work of Michel Foucault, gaining a following in the English-speaking world in the 1990s. It challenges the epistemological foundations of the study of history and the notion of meta-history. Based on your reading thus far in Arnold, Gaddis, Novick, Tosh, Trueman, and Williams, identify and discuss the 3 major characteristics of postmodernist history, and what do you think the strengths of this approach are, and what weaknesses exist within postmodernist history. Your second question is, who is Michel Foucault? Provide a 1-paragraph biography and why we might question the entire postmodernist school that he was a seminal contributor to. Is the fruit of the tree edible if the roots of the tree are rotted or diseased? That's my addition to the question. All right. Some things to think about with question number 1. Beginning in the late 1970s, a new school of interpretation began to emerge in postmodernism. Postmodernism itself arose among French philosophers, literary and art critics, and then among some historians. Postmodernism, like much of the post-First World War left, is ultimately convinced that everything is tied up with power, and in the case of the postmodernists, especially the use of language in the exercise of power. Postmodernism questions modernism, empiricism, historicism, and even the Enlightenment project itself. Some have argued that there is no ultimate purpose in history, holding a nihilist perspective. At least one historian refers to the late 20th century as the age of nihilism, due to the lack of meaning in people's lives. Other postmodernists hold the position that history is what we make of it. They argue that historical facts are unknowable, leaving us to our imaginations and ideological biases to reconstruct what we think happened. Others argue that history is only an attempt to gain power over others. Sorry about that. Had the phone on. There's a footnote with some sources that talk about that nihilist thing. Take a look at that. Then discussion question number 1, some more considerations. A key feature of postmodernism is that only readers can assign meaning to a text, that words in and of themselves mean nothing until the reader assigns them meaning. In addition, there is no true truths, only truths based on one's lived experience, which thus implies one constructs their own reality. What are the implications of that for the writing of history? Remember, let's keep our focus on history. Postmodernism is tough, so I've given you lots of additional resources. A video of Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris discussing the problem of postmodernism, and then one by Jordan Peterson himself on postmodernism. For balance, if those of you who think Jordan Peterson is some crazy right-wing person, Noam Chomsky on postmodernism, a SlideShare bit on it, Stephen Hicks, Stanford University's Postmodernism entry in their philosophy encyclopedia, a Christian perspective from All About Worldview, and one from an interesting place called Butterflies and Wheels. So I'm trying to give you as broad a view of postmodernism as I can for you to think about it. Question 2, Michel Foucault. Who is Michel Foucault? Write a one-paragraph biography, and why might we question the entire postmodernist school that he was a seminal contributor to? What is the fruit? Is the fruit of the tree edible if the roots of the tree are rotted or diseased? Some of these links are very polemic, but then Foucault was a polarizing figure. There's a lot of debate about some of the claims, about some of his behaviors, but one of my favorite things to say about psychiatrists is physician, heal thyself. Almost every psychiatrist and most of the psychologists I know are so deeply troubled themselves that I wonder how they can help anybody else. But on the other hand, one of my good friends is a psychiatrist, who I often say that to. So it's not that I don't like psychiatrists and psychologists. Jordan Peterson is a psychologist, and I think he's pretty grounded. But Michel Foucault is a very interesting character, to say the least. Thinking ahead to your final essay that's coming up, that will be due at the end of not this coming week, the weekend of May 10th or 11th or 12th or whatever it is. I'm going to Washington. Use your annotated bibliography as a sort of roadmap. What are the contours of the historiography? What I was saying is it's not due the week of May 10th or 11th, whatever that Sunday is. It is instead due the next weekend. So 2 weeks from about now. Use your annotated bibliography as a sort of roadmap. What are the contours of the historiography? Remember, you are writing a historiographic essay or a literature review on your topic, not an argumentative essay on your question. See the link for an explanation that may be helpful. Be sure to organize your historiography either by argument or by chronology, not by author. Historians agree here and they disagree there, or historiography shifts from X to Y over time. Feel free to criticize sources, but be sure you use evidence to criticize, not just opinion. Do use Grammarly and the Microsoft Word editor, but use them. Do not let them use you. If you accept all of the changes, AI is really writing your essay, and you're not. So consider the changes. If it's passive voice, think about it. Try to fix it. If it's a standard grammar error, fix that. If it's the suggested text instead because this is too hard to understand, yeah, maybe not. Pay attention to detail. Footnotes, proper Chicago Manual of Style, 10-point font, indented single space, and bibliography, proper format, alphabetical author's last name, no numbering in the bibliography, 12-point hanging single space. There you go. Y'all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you around the campus. Bye-bye.